You men seeing this film have had a lot of experience in mining. You probably know how to operate many of the kinds of equipment used in and around an open pit mine. Equipment like drills, crushers, scales, and all the other important jobs. Some of you have operated a swing shovel, and others have driven one of the many kinds of haul units between the mine face and the grizzly. During the last few years, you may have noticed a new type of dozer coming into the area, and that's the subject of our film. We want to help you to become an expert with the Michigan Dozer. If you've never operated a Michigan before, there are a couple of big differences that you'll notice right away. First of all, it's on wheels. The rear wheels do the steering, and you sit up in front where you can see what's going on. Another thing you'll notice, and like, is the way the Michigan handles. Steering, shifting, blade control, and brakes are all power operated. This rig will handle about as easy as your own car. Michigan tractor dozers run on wide base, low pressure tires. This, plus plenty of speed in the higher gears, means you'll probably be moving around a good bit when you're assigned to a Michigan. You'll clean up spillage around the shovels. Move the big ones out of the way for secondary blasting. And because the machine is fast and efficient, you'll be off somewhere else for another job. Always remember to operate safely, whether you're on a straight haul road, going around a blind corner, or in an area where there are a lot of other kinds of equipment. Keep your machine under control and be sure you can stop in time. All Michigan dozers have hydraulically operated blades, and a little later on in the film we'll show you how to get the most out of these blades. The Michigans are powered with either Cummins or Jimmy diesel engines, and depending upon the model and year of the machine you're operating, will have either a 4-speed or 8-speed power shift transmission. Cleanup around the swing shovels is usually the main job for the dozer in open pit mining. And because the dozer can move quickly, the job is usually set up so that one dozer will work around 2 swing shovels, maybe even 3 if they're close together. Since you can't get in there when a haul unit is being loaded, cleanup is done between truckloads. It's important to be in the right gear. Select the gear range, which gives you the power you need, but without spinning the tires. This machine has a 4-speed transmission, and the operator is in 2nd gear. Watch how he fills his blade, and then as he comes up to the pile, lifts the blade and the load up onto the pile. Among the odd jobs may be moving a shanty, back-dragging a rough spot on the mine floor, pushing the big ones out of the way, and probably some haul road maintenance. Now let's watch an operator demonstrate how to do things wrong. This is a Michigan with an 8-speed transmission. First of all, he's in too low a gear, probably first, so that when the going gets a little tough, the wheels spin. Here he demonstrates what happens when he doesn't use the blade right. He just leaves it down, and when the load builds up, the wheels spin. This wears out tires fast. Now let's see what happens in 2nd gear, and with the blade used properly. He goes into the load with the blade at ground level, so the footing for the dozer tires is clean. Then, when he's got that big rock, he lifts it up with the blade to roll it. By the way, this is the special taconite blade, beefed up for this kind of tough application. This kind of work is done better with several short passes. Now, watch again. The blade starts low. Then, when he's got a load, he raises the blade and the load. Here's another example. He raises the blade to keep large material rolling and to put added down pressure on the 2 front tires. This gives better traction. Now watch this. He gets the blade under. The weight is transferred to the tires. He lifts it up. And rolls it over. Here's what can happen when he doesn't keep his blade low, and the material rides in under the blade, and the rig gets hung up. But since he's up front where he can see it happen, he just backs off and tries it again. As we said earlier, cleanup around the shovels is usually one of the main jobs for dozers in open pit mining. Material falls off the nearly loaded haul units, and this has to be cleaned up between loads to protect the tires of the haul units. For example, there are 18 tires on this rig. This operator's been waiting a few moments for the load to leave. He comes into the area, backs, and gets squared away for his first pass. It's very important to keep the blade low so that the floor is dozed clean. Here he takes his first pass, moving the spillage up close to the face where the swing shovel can reach it. You'll notice that he's operating in the proper gear so that he does not spin the tires. And now, here's how not to do it. You'll notice that the blade is too high and the shot rock is passing underneath the blade. When this happens, he isn't cleaning the mine floor the way he should. And on top of that, the dozer tires take a beating by rolling over the shot rock. Here's a closer look at the material slipping underneath the blade. We think that you'll agree that this was an almost useless pass. This is the way the area should look after a few passes, completely free of spillage. Now a haul unit can come in for its next load without tearing up the tires on chunks of rock. The 10 tires on this rig cost the company a lot of money. Sometimes the dozer operator is assigned to land clearing. The first step is getting the timber down and out of the way before the overburden is stripped off. Once the trees are down, you can just push them out of the way with the blade a foot or so off the ground. When you're taking trees down, be careful that dead limbs don't snap off and come down on you and your machine. Sometimes you may want to build a ramp of dirt and then push down the tree with the blade up high. With larger timber, the best method is to take several passes past the roots. Tilt one corner of the blade down to cut the supporting roots, first on one side, then on the other. Then, ease into the root ball in the direction you want the trees to fall, raising the blade slightly as you move forward. The taconite process produces a lot of useless material, usually carried to the waste area in a stream of water. When the water is drained away, it's the dozer operator's job to keep the steadily growing tailings pile level and at the proper grade. This involves the movement of a great deal of material. A good operator will move a lot of tonnage every shift by keeping his blade full on each pass and by using the right gear ratio to keep the material moving at a good clip. With hydraulic blade controls, it's very simple to get a load. The operator pitches the blade forward slightly, and then as the load starts to build, he brings the blade back to a straight up and down position. Once he has the load, he just floats it ahead of the blade. Remember, any new skill takes practice. If you'll put the ideas in this film to work for you, it won't be long, and you'll be an expert.